What up, y'all? It's your man Abuamerican. I am back with a short video. Man, I'm looking scraggly. I need to like hit the barbershop, but the barbershop's closed. The Rona got me looking rough, boy. Anywho, look, I want to talk about something that's very important. I've been tweeting about it a little bit because I come across a situation, and I want to talk about the situation, but in more of a general term, the lessons that I learned. Look, uh, the L word in the manosphere, the love word. Is it okay to love a woman? It's absolutely okay to love a woman. What it is not okay to do is to love a woman more than you love yourself, because that puts you in the simp category. And the simp category will have you doing stuff like being cuckolded so that you don't lose the woman because you love her so much. You love her more than you love yourself, your own dignity, your own pride as a man. And that has to be paramount and first and foremost. Now, look, women are going to congruence test you. They're going to crap test you. It's a Ramadan. I'm not trying to cuss, but they're going to congruence test you. They're going to dookie test you. And this is just a part of dealing with women. It's a part of relationships with women. You'll have a good relationship. There'll be peace. They'll be calm. And it's not good enough for her. She needs some excitement, a roller coaster. She starts throwing stuff at you. You do something that she finds off mark, questionable. She starts congruence testing you. That's normal. It's fine. The fact that you're in the manosphere, in the red pill zone, that you're learning this stuff, whatever you want to call it, that you're learning female behaviors, their congruence tests, their bifurcated reproductive strategies and whatnot. It's excellent that you're learning all this, but don't let that stuff like burn you and jade you. Women and congruence testing is normal. It's fine. Learn to deal with it, learn to circumvent it, learn to overpower it, learn to whatever else, not overpower it, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I use cocky funny to deal with women and their congruence test or agree and amplify, and it's like whacking them on the head. They just can't keep it up, they start laughing and giggling, whatever else, and then you go back to normal. So I call that overpowering in a sense. Nevertheless, my point is this: with congruence testing, congruence testing is fine until she starts attacking your dignity, your pride, and your honor as a man. When she starts attacking you and you start feeling a twinge of like she's trying to make you feel bad, or you actually start to feel bad. And it can happen, guys, because you love these women and then they say stuff because they're not getting the response that they think they should be getting out of you. I don't think he's masculine enough. This is not an active thought in their head. This is, in their lizard brain running around back there. And so they keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And they get a bigger rise out of you. They start attacking you as an individual. And this is where the red zone is. And this is what you can't accept. Because there comes a point where eventually she's going to hit some sort of sore spot. She knows you. If you're with a woman for any amount of time, she starts to see stuff. She starts to learn stuff about you, and she'll find your buttons. They're pros at it. Now, what's not okay is to attack you as an individual, and then try and make you feel bad about yourself. And then when you flip out or you get mad or whatever else, they act like, oh, no, why are you doing this? And again, their confusion might actually be sincere because they don't actively know they're congruence testing you sometimes. But they do have control over themselves. And so, there has to be limits on what you can accept. And the moment they start trying to make you feel bad about you as yourself, you have to love yourself more than you love that woman. You got to let her go. There's a red zone, and that's just bad upbringing, and it's not your job to raise her. You are not her dad. You're not her mom. You're not her therapist or whatever else. You're not there to correct the nasty parts of her character and personality. And here's the thing: a lot of men tolerate this out of love. See, male love, generally when it's healthy, he's not going to attack a woman in the same way she's going to attack him. And I tell this to guys all the time when their woman's congruence test them. I tell them, play for keeps, because her little congruence tests, she may be joking, making a joke about your winky size or whatever else, or how you perform in bed, and she'll make it like it's a joke. But that's dead serious for her. And if you react wrong, she's holding that against you in the relationship, and it's gonna stack. This is not something that just goes away with that event. That's like, oh, I'm gonna pile this on. So if she started there, the next time she's starting off at a higher level. And so you gotta play these battles for keep. But men generally don't do those type of attacks, We don't come back, yeah, well, you talking about my winky size, but it's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway, babe. I mean, that's a good one. But generally we don't do stuff that makes them feel bad, because then they really take it personal. And we know that. And generally when a man has a healthy sense of love for a woman, he's not abusive towards her. In general, they're not. You know, you don't find a guy beating them or cursing or whatever else or trying to make her feel bad about herself. So it's a one-sided like battle in the sense that she's throwing barbs and you're not, because this is not standard male behavior to do that type of stuff. And so you can't live like that, you know, and you shouldn't live like that. And so don't live like that. You know, love a woman, but love yourself more. And the moment she tries to make you feel bad about yourself, you got to start putting the brakes on the entire relationship and say, hey, you know what? There has to be boundaries, barriers, setting frame, you know, setting boundaries. They generally overlap, setting boundary and setting the frame. And if she can't adhere to them, bro, you got to get out of there, because you're going to end up just, you know, you're going to end up in a bad mental state, in a bad emotional state. So the moment something like that starts happening, and I'm not talking about basic congruence tests, she can do that. She needs that. That's a part of what and who she is. You can't take that from her. I always say, give the woman a roller coaster. You have to control the roller coaster, but some guys aren't going to do that. And so when you're not going to do that, what you have to do is you have to set boundaries on how far her roller coaster goes, which is technically controlling the roller coaster. But you know what I'm saying? You're either proactive or you're reactive. And so if you're not going to be a proactive guy and you're going to be reactive and then, you know, bounce that energy off somewhere else, there has to be limits to what's acceptable. And attacking you as an individual, you know, as a man, who you are, you know, characteristics that you can't control or whatever else, you know, that's just off limits. And a lot of your relationship problems would be solved with that. And of course, you have to have a non-scarcity mindset with this. I know this is like, seems like it's jumping all over the place, but you can't be afraid to lose that woman. And it's perfectly fine to let a woman go and love her. Because let me tell you something. It's better to die by gunshot to the head than death of 1,000 cuts. And that's what she's going to do when she starts attacking you as an individual, you know, attacking characteristics of your personality, your physical person, or whatever else, stuff that you can't control. Even if you can control it, but it's just off limit stuff. That's like every time she does that, that's going to hurt you. And you may not notice it. You know, you may be good at hiding it as a man, but eventually it's going to wear you down, and it's something somewhere is going to give and it's going to snap. And so better to die by a gunshot wound, better to like feel the pain of letting go of a woman that you love than feeling the pain of watching that woman just insult and degrade you and treat you with disrespect for months and years at a time. Don't do that to yourself, guys. The moment it starts, you gotta let her go. If she won't follow the rules, pull the trigger, feel the pain of letting her go, find you a new girl, but don't die a death of 1,000 cuts, guys. It's just a bad way to go. It's your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that, Abuamerican.